Hello, good morning. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Now, a few of you have requested that I do a flat tour video of the new place that I'm in, because for those of you who may or may not have noticed, I'm in a new place, so everything looks slightly different than it did for the last year of videos and Instagram posts. My very good friend Dav got married, so it would have been a bit weird if we'd continued living together after that happened. We're both still in Cardiff Bay. We went from a flat that was quite a long way away, whereas now I literally live 2 minutes from the Millennium Centre if I'm walking, so I'm properly deep in the heart of Cardiff Bay now, and so is Dav. He lives in a flat about a 2-minute walk from me, so that's nice, isn't it? I'm sorry that I couldn't think of a more imaginative video to make. I've been really busy these last few days, and also I'm really sorry for the poor lighting. The lights in my flat are really nice, but they're very warm and quite dim, and I was playing with my camera for quite a while trying to get good settings, upping the ISO and all of that stuff, but I'm not good with cameras. I find one setting that I like and I just keep it like that and forget how I got there. So really sorry if the image is a bit grainy in the next footage. But yeah, hope you enjoy this video of my new flat. Okay, so we're going to start off in my hallway, which is the least interesting part of the whole flat, but it's the logical place to start because my front door is literally there. Guitar case, coat rack, stray synth, and these floating shelves here. You can see the exposed brick wall, and this is one of the main features of where I'm living at the moment. And if we come round, we've got bathrooms in here, but it's nothing particularly interesting. Good size shower, I guess. And the main flat is through here. So I don't know if this is a thing in America, but in the UK we have things that are called studio flats, and what that means is that instead of there being a separate room for each kind of component, everything is in one big space. So this room right now is my kitchen, my living room, and my bedroom, and my studio. Now, what I was most worried about when I moved out is that I have loads and loads of stuff. I've got my studio, I've got all my record collection, and I was worried that I wouldn't be able to find somewhere that had enough space, and this is the only place that I looked at that kind of came close. Most studio flats in the UK don't look like this. They're not big and open. They're kind of small-ish. Some of them have got beds that fold up into the wall, and that would have been fine. I would have been fine with that, but to kind of stumble across a flat that both looks like this and is as big as this was just such a massive stroke of luck for me. So let me show you around a bit more. So this is a general view of the flat, and just to give you an idea of scale, that rug on the floor is 2 meters by 3 meters. Now, there are two main things that people tend to notice about this place when they visit. The first being kind of obvious, but these beautiful exposed brick walls, and they can make it a bit cold. I've had to turn my heating on now, but there are loads of these radiators everywhere in here, so it warms up quickly. It's not too much of a problem, and they're just great. They just look so fucking cool, don't they? Got my decanters up there, but there's one on the right that looks a bit empty, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. And then this giant lamp that I got from IKEA. I mean, IKEA is one of the greatest shops in the world, but yeah, that's the first thing. The other thing is the floor. This is genuine hardwood floor. It's not laminate or anything like that. This is real wood, and it squeaks. So this is the sort of living room area, and that is a sofa bed. So if there are guests around, I can pull the bottom out and have a really big bed for people to sleep on. Got some general pieces of art up on the walls. And one thing that you would probably notice about this place is that I haven't got a TV, but I kind of do. My TV is basically there. It's all plugged in and connected to my PS4 down there, and when I want to watch something on it, I literally just pick it up and pop it on the table there. Obviously, it would be natural to have the TV kind of just there on display, but because of the shape of this room, and it is all just one space, the only permanent place I could imagine putting it was on the coffee table. And firstly, aesthetically that wouldn't work because it's a round coffee table and you don't want to put a TV on a round thing, but also then there would just be cables trailing out the back of it around the room permanently, and that would just look really gross. And I don't watch TV very much. The only times I really use it are if I'm playing a video game or if I'm watching Netflix, in the evenings. I don't just sit down on my sofa all day and watch TV. It's just not something I do. And when I have friends around, we don't tend to watch TV either. We'll just sit around and talk, and I thought it would be nice to have a space that when people are here, the emphasis is on one another. People sit around the table looking at each other and talking, instead of having a space that seems to be engineered exclusively for people to watch a screen. You know what I mean? Have you ever been to someone's house and you sit down in the living room, and if they're not watching something on TV, it just feels weird because every piece of furniture is pointing at the TV. And I just don't like that, and I thought with a space that looks the way mine does, I don't watch TV very often, so I'd rather just have it out of the way and then pull it out when I need to. Coming around from that, we've got these shelving units, which are super useful, and obviously the main attraction is my record player. See, you've got a nice big photo of Mel Gibson there just to brighten everyone's day. My friend Pranav bought me for my birthday this little wooden block vinyl holdy standy thingy, and it's great, and it means that we can always have something nice up on display there, so when people come in they know exactly what the last thing I was listening to, although I haven't listened to that yet, but the last thing I opened, so yeah, that's the Braveheart score. James Horner, rest in peace. Record player with convenient lamp so I can spot if something is too dusty. Some books on the shelf below, some more books on the shelf below that, as well as my amplifier, and then random crap down there. More books over here, and then just general shelves and stuff. This is like the area that I need to try and work on getting more tidy, because at the moment there are just cables everywhere, but it's okay. And then moving along from that, we've got this giant chair. Sometimes when I'm feeling especially decadent, I move this to just in front of the speakers and open a box of chocolates like a fat bastard and just like sit there listening to whatever the newest record I bought was, and it's great. Around from the chair, you've basically got my bedroom, which is nothing more than a mattress on the floor. It's really weird going from sleeping in proper beds to just having a mattress on the floor, but I kind of like it because I'm, you know, arty and rustic and all of that. And yes, I'm aware of how horribly off-center that piece of art is. I will be fixing it. And then if you do a complete 180 from the bedroom, you've got the studio, which is sort of the main space that I spend the most time in here. Little bit different from what it was like in the previous place, partly because I've just got so much more space here to spread everything out and have it configured as I would like to. So monitor controller, DAW controller, Behringer Model D with a big sky next to it, my rack, my MS-20, and then a ficus bonsai tree. I say bonsai, it's probably not a real bonsai because it was from IKEA, that I'm pretty sure I'm slowly killing, and it really upsets me. When I first got it, this thing was like bursting with foliage, and ever since moving in, the leaves on it have just been dropping and dropping and dropping. If anyone has any tips for me, I've made sure that I'm not overwatering it or underwatering it. I don't know if I need to completely repot it. I don't want it to die, and I read somewhere that sometimes it's just like the change in environment that they are used to, but it's not in direct sunlight here. But I obviously open all of this during the day, so it does get sunlight coming in, and I don't know. Yeah, help me save my ficus. Another thing I need to do at some point is pull my desk out a little bit, because there's no acoustic treatment in here, and I need to try and sort that out because it's obviously hard surfaces everywhere, lots of reflective surfaces, and the desk needs to come out a bit further from the wall. I don't want to pull it out too much because I don't want it to feel like the studio is just in the middle of the room, but I don't think it'll be a problem. So yeah, the studio isn't completely finished yet. There are some things I'm going to change. And then coming along from here, we've got the record collection, which is quite full, and I now have an 8-tier one of these Kallax shelving units. I had a 4-tier for ages, filled it up, and now it's so good to have the extra space, and it means that I'm not putting too much pressure on the records. Soft boxes for YouTube videos, and then a little sort of 3-tier Keaton area, some more album art up there. Dining table, which is rarely used, and then the kitchen looks like that. Cheeky espresso machine there for morning coffees. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing particularly special, just a normal kitchen. And then again, that is the general view of my flat. I've turned the upper spotlights on here because I usually have it lit only with like the fairy lights over there, the lamp on the record player, and then the kind of giant Hector Pixar lamp from IKEA. But my camera needed more light, so I've put the spotlights on, which do look really nice as well. They have a really, really nice kind of warm light to them. But yeah, that's my flat. And my wardrobe, actually, that's my wardrobe there. And that's one of the things that's odd about living in a studio flat. Little things like your wardrobe just being next to the kitchen in the middle of the living room kind of takes some getting used to. Oh, and I do have a balcony here as well. It's nowhere near as cool as the balcony that I had last year with Dav. Beyond those blinds there are 2 doors, and it's just like a Juliet balcony, so I can kind of stand on the edge and look over, but it's not somewhere that I could set up a table and chairs and sit down with friends or anything like that. But that's fine. So yeah, this is my flat. That's where I am now living, and it's wonderful. I love it here. It did take a bit of getting used to living by myself again, because before uni I lived by myself for like 2 years, but then all through uni I had flatmates, and then I was living with Dav last year, well, for over a year. It was like a year and 3 months, and it wasn't just like living with someone, but living with someone that I was really, really close friends with. So getting used to being on my own again was just, it just took a bit of adjustment really, but it was fine. Like, I like being by myself a lot of the time. So thank you for watching, and thank you again so much to anyone that has contributed to my Kickstarter to get my EP Her pressed on vinyl. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I released a short 4-track instrumental EP on the 28th of September. I say short, the last track on it is almost 15 minutes long, so it's not that short. But Yeah, I released that on my birthday, 28th of September, and as I'm a huge vinyl enthusiast and I listen to pretty much all music that I can on vinyl, I've been collecting for years now. It's always been a massive goal of mine to get some of my own music pressed on vinyl, so I set up a Kickstarter to help me do so. So if anyone wants to contribute to that and donate, then there'll be a link in the description there to the Kickstarter, as well as links to the Spotify and iTunes for the EP. It's available on like all streaming platforms as well. Thank you so much to those people who've shown support already. It's crazy. We've got like over a month left on the Kickstarter, and we're so close to being 2/3 of the way there, which is just incredible. Like, it's mind-blowing to me. But yeah, thank you so much. If anyone wants to contribute, then like I said, links down there. If you pledge a tenner, then you get the record, because I'll ship it to you internationally for free if you pledge a tenner. So just think of it as like a pre-order system, basically. But anyway, that's enough of me plugging myself. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the flat tour. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you very soon.